Good morning and welcome to the October 7th Let's Talk. Today's Let's Talk will probably be about 5 to 10 minutes. There's not a lot to talk about. That being said, it'll probably be 15 minutes because I just said that, but again, I expect this will be a fairly quick Let's Talk. We opened up the Garden Cafe on Monday. We also opened up assisted living on Monday. Both seem to be going well. I'm happy to see that the numbers in the Garden Cafe are still a lot lighter than they've been in the past, and I think that's important as we open up any venue that we take that slow. But what I like is that it's residents taking it slow. Again, with COVID-19 and what we've done, Westminster Village has put a lot of things in place to keep the campus safe. But probably for the last 2 months now, I think my message has been, and hopefully people have heard this, is it really comes down to personal responsibility and personal choice of people. We can put things in place, but it's up to each individual to decide what risk they're willing to take. Are they willing to go out to their doctors? Are they willing to go to dinner outside of campus? Are they willing to go to church services or memorial services? And again, each of those things comes with risk. Even going to the Ocotillo or going to the mailroom comes with risk. And each individual has to weigh the amount of risk they're willing to take. And again, that's critical. And again, what the things that we need people to continue to do: wear their face mask, wear their shields, social distance, take risks where it makes sense to take risk. You know, if we're at a point now where we're 8 months into this virus, if you need to go to the dentist and get your teeth cleaned and do that, call your dentist. Make sure they're putting good precautions in place so that as you go, you feel safe. If you're out off of the campus and you take a risk and you feel like you were sitting next to a person coughing, when you come back, don't go out to dinner that night or 3 nights later with your friends. You know, take the precautions that you should take, not just to keep yourself safe, but your neighbors safe. We are, as a campus, going to continue to decrease our restrictions and increase the amount of services we have as the numbers in Arizona either go down or stay pretty close to where they're at. Right now, they're trending up a little bit for the week. Not a huge concern, but we are watching that. Again, it's about us keeping the place and keeping our neighbors as safe as possible without living in a facility that's on 24-hour lockdown. Nobody wants to live in that. Nobody wants to work in that. And there's as many risks with that as there are by opening up the campus more and more. So again, I expect we'll continue to look at the barriers we've put in place. Some of those barriers will stay in place for a while. I don't know if you can see the plexiglass here and here, but those barriers will probably be in place for quite a bit. Other barriers are going to be coming down as we've been doing with the isolation period. We went from 14 days to 10 days to 5 days to 3 days. Eventually, we will do away with that isolation period. We're not ready to do that yet. We still think there's enough risk out in the valley, as well as we open up assisted living and the other dining venues and some of the activities, that we're just not ready to go away from that 3-day isolation period. But we are evaluating every one of those barriers, every one of those restrictions to see what makes sense to take away next. And next week, I think we'll have another list of items that we're going to do away with. And the critical thing at this point is each person take an individual responsibility of what risks they're willing to take. And again, knowing that some of those risks are on campus. Going to Ocotillo is more of a risk than eating in your apartment. Going to Ruth Chris Steakhouse is more risk than eating Ocotillo. Again, but individually, you're going to have to make those choices, just as every one of the employees have to make those choices. What risk are we willing to take, and who are we willing to be next to? Who are we? You know, I've been willing to go visit my grandkids and have them up, but I make sure my daughters, you know, 2 months ago when I seen them, they got tested first. Now they're getting their temperatures taken before they come over, making sure they don't have any come into contact with anybody. And each of us have to do that same thing, even if it's your neighbor. If you're going to dinner with your neighbor, you know, make sure they weren't at the casino the day before, if that's a risk you're not willing to take. Those are things we got to continue to do. As we continue to open up, there does mean there's some risk on campus, but with the state of Arizona going down, it means less risk. So again, think about what you're doing. Talk to your friends and neighbors that you're keeping in your small social circle. Call me if you have questions. Call Megan if you have questions. But again, as we progress with COVID-19, as we get closer to the vaccine, we will see more and more of our services open. We will see more people on campus. Again, at this point, people coming on campus are being tested. But the state of Arizona has put out some more regulations on that. So even the testing of people coming on campus will start to be less and less over time. So again, it's just important that we really look at every part of the campus and make good choices as individuals. And again, the safest place is your apartment getting delivery, but you lose the benefit of having those friends. So again, you individually have to make those choices, what's right for you. I think that's all I have today. Thank you very much.